Maybe every guy in the world is like, oh, I'm happy to pay, like whatever, y'all are lying. Tell the guy, hey, I'm going to pay my half. There's nothing that gets on my nerves more than somebody being like, oh, do you want me to pay? As a man, the first thing I'm going to say is no. But do you really want to help if you're asking me, or why not just tell me, hey, this is what I want to do?
I think there's certain benefits to being a woman in the society and certain benefits to being a man. But it's Women's Month. We pay respect to women. And I saw this TikTok of this woman who was out on a date.
Mm-hmm.
And, the guy she was out on the date with, he said, he's going to pay for dinner. And then he asked if they could hang out, if he can go to like her room afterwards. And she was like, "Oh, I don't think that they allow it. Like, I'm pretty tired." And he was like, "Oh, I see what's going on. You wanted a free meal." And she's like, "Oh, like, like I'll pay for my half if that's how it is." And he was like, "Okay, fine, pay for your half then. I see what it is."
And then she snapped on him, called him an asshole.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. A lot of people on TikTok, they had a lot to say about this. I feel like everybody was on her side. The video that she took was like her like just videotaping the table. So
Yeah.
she was doing it on some sneak shit.
Yeah.
But we talked about this before with that video in Applebee's of the man who wanted to make the woman pay for all her items because I think she owed like 40 something, he only had like 18.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a discrepancy between the amount that they ordered and stuff. She had a couple drinks. She ordered the surf and turf, something like that.
But yeah, like, what do you take from this? Because women were in the comments and they were saying like a lot of times that they want to pay for half if they're not really into the guy because they don't want to feel like they owe him anything. And it's something as men we may not always be conscious of. Like, what do you take from this, and what do you take from the exchange in the TikTok?
I mean, I think that anybody that commented saying that's a respectable way to approach it.
Why is that respectable?
Because I think that's fair. Like, if you're not interested in moving anywhere past this, and you want to make that clear, tell the guy, hey, I'm going to pay my half. There's something to be said for assertiveness. There's something to be said for, just owning your shit.
Yes.
There's nothing that gets on my nerves more than somebody being like, oh, do you want me to pay? Or, oh, do you want help with that? And it's like, as a man, the first thing I'm going to say is no. But do you really want to help if you're asking me, or why not just tell me, hey, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to contribute to this experience or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that aspect. Maybe other people don't. Maybe every guy in the world is like, oh, I'm happy to pay, like whatever, y'all are lying. But that's how I view it. I will say for this person, it was an awkward sort of video for me because it was clear listening to the video that they were having dinner in a restaurant or a bar at the hotel that she was staying at.
Okay.
And from what she was saying, it was like, oh, he was alluding to like trying to have sex with me the whole night. And then he thought he could pay for the meal and like buy my body kind of. I don't know because we don't have any other video about the conversations or anything. But I mean, he clearly was not happy.
No, I mean he said he was going to pay for it, and then once she said she was going to the room,
Yeah.
he flipped and said, "Okay, you pay for it." So,
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. This video is way out of context. We don't know what they talked about. We don't know what they discussed. We don't know what she was saying. Kind of seemed like a setup, in my opinion. So, I do think that he didn't do himself any favors.
No, not at
the
all.
way,
Not at all. He was an asshole. Like I let me be clear about that. This guy was an asshole. But at the same time, I think she was framing the conversation in a specific kind of way, and not to like throw this person under the bus. But I looked at their TikTok page. This is par for the course.
That's what she does. Like, she has a TikTok page of dates and stuff.
No, she has a TikTok page full of her ass and her tits.
Oh, so she's kind of like putting it out there. Putting.
She's looking for sympathy because like, oh, this
Mm,
man tried to like bait me into having sex because he wanted to pay for my dinner, but in reality, like you have 300,000 followers on TikTok because you show your ass and your tits.
listen, yeah, but Chris Rock said it in his special. Like that's a way to get attention. Showing ass is one of the easiest ways. You can't take that away from her.
I mean, I'm not taking it away from her. She's clearly got it, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, these things are tricky. I never want anyone to feel like uncomfortable on a
Yeah.
date, especially when people take out their phones and start making content out of it.
Yeah.
I think that's a little bit ridiculous. It's hard for me to feel sympathy for these people looking for sympathy. It's just like, it's not that big of a deal. You went on a date with an asshole. Who cares?
That, or I mean, literally, sometimes you just have a bad date.
Yeah.
Like those do exist. I've
And
had bad dates before. Like sometimes you could really actually like this person. Maybe you're not actually trying to take them home to have sex with them, and it just doesn't like click.
yeah.
It's like that sometimes.
Yeah, and men usually have to pay for those days. Women really don't have to worry about it. I mean,
Exactly.
even this person who they interviewed, I think this doctor, she said, "Oh, if women feel unsafe, it's smart to just leave. Don't worry about paying or anything like that." And it's just like, damn,
Nah.
like,
See that, but whoever recommended that, you're trying to get women killed. Because there's crazy people out there that will snap on somebody, follow them outside the restaurant, confront them. Like that's not the way to handle it. Just walking away from your problems is not the way to handle anything, whether it's a person you have a relationship with, a stranger you're on a date with, whatever it might be. I don't think that's great.
I disagree because Jake Paul definitely ran away from his problems and he saved himself from getting punched in the face again. So, I think sometimes you got to walk away. But as a guy, like, I'm, I, I have pushed back on people like, I'm like on dates, like, okay, I'm going to pay for it. And they offer to split. And I'm like, no. And they're like, insist on it. And now if someone offers to split it, well, sure. I'm happy. I'm so happy. Oh, great! You should have said so. Put the card on the table, please.
That's experience talking right there. No, I feel the same way. Like it honestly, if I'm intending to pay and I've got my card out and then she's like, "No, I'll pay." And I'm like, "No, it's fine. Like I've got it." And then she insists again. On the second insist, that's my rule that I decided that a long time ago. On the second insist, I'm going to say, "Okay, fine."
Yeah,
Like,
I used to be like that too, but now it's the first insist. Now it's even reach for it. It's like, oh,
you
should
easy
have.
with it. You easy. You're like, yes, please pay half.
It's great, yo. Honestly, I've had people buy me drinks and take me out to dinner in the past, like a few times in my life, and it feels amazing. I cannot lie.
It's really a great feeling. It doesn't happen to me that much. Well, obviously I'm in a relationship now, but still, Natalie, it doesn't happen to me that much. So I really like that too.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. Usher made that song "Trading Places" for a reason.
Great song, classic.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like women take that shit for granted, honestly, people paying for them. Because if you're a pretty girl, you walk into any bar, you're not paying for any drinks.
Yeah.
Like you might pay for one drink, you stand around, someone's gonna buy you something. That does not happen for men.
It's a fact. No. Dang. We were just talking about the inequalities and whether or not women are getting too many rights.
Yeah. I know that's what spawned this conversation.
Listen, we think y'all deserve everything that you get, but don't take advantage. That's the difference. Taking advantage versus being respectful, owning what you do, all those sorts of things.
I say take advantage. If a guy's gonna simp, who cares? Get yours. It is what it is. That's on him. If he's gonna give it up, take it. People need to learn. Just like we need to learn new lingo because Tinder, they put out a new dating dictionary out for Gen Z terms. Did you read this? Because I want to ask you the terms and see if you know what they mean.
So I looked at it, but I did not read the full dictionary.
Yeah, they only have a few of the terms. One of the terms is situationship. Do you know what that means?
Is that like Define the origin of that word. Is that a synonym for entanglement? Is that
No, that word came from a fabulous song, Situationship, on one of the Soul tapes.
Fab? Yes.
Fab created this, but now it's used in everyday vocabulary. What does that mean to you?
I mean, to me, it's like we're to me, it's like we've been fucking around for a long time, but we don't have a defined term for this. Like, we're not boyfriend and girlfriend, but we're also not like just fuck buddies. It's a little bit different.
Word, yeah, it says describes a sticky in between status when someone is more than a hookup but not quite a couple.
Hey,
Yeah, it's
look
like
at that.
it's complicated, like old school Facebook.
Yeah.
Well, what is kitten fishing?
That I don't know.
Kitten fishing refers to tweaking or embellishing certain aspects of your life, appearance, etc., to make yourself more appealing on dating apps. Different to catfishing, which is pretending to be someone else entirely. So it's like using, certain filters and, face tuning and, changing your body or acting like, you're adventurous with like CGI backgrounds or Photoshop, like all types of things.
So this is kind of like what we talked about before, where it's like, this lady, she felt like she got almost catfished by this guy who was way heavier than his pictures.
Yes. Yeah, that's
okay.
kitten fishing. It's not full on catfishing. And I feel like that's par for the course now.
Yeah.
And like it's crazy, like on dating apps. It's like people have like professional like ass profiles. You have to really, really hone in to see what people actually really look like. It's not as simple as it used to be with all this technology. The last term that they have here is Riz. Do you know what Riz means?
So I feel like I recently learned about Riz, but Riz is basically like a different way to say like swag, or you're able to pick up like somebody of the opposite sex. Kind of, right?
Yeah. I just learned that too.
Yeah.
Riz is shorthand for charisma. You have an allure, you're engaging, you're basically irresistible.
Got the Riz.
Damn, yo, you passed the test, yo. You got 2 out of 3.
That's pretty good. 67%.
That's really good.
D plus.
Pause.
Hey.
Oh my god. Oh shit.
That's
man.
pretty funny. Yeah. I mean, listen, I think there's a lot of terms that just keep coming up now.
Yes.
Usually I catch them through Instagram videos and things like that, but it's hard to keep up with some of this stuff.
Yeah, it really is. Subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on Spotify, follow on Instagram,
Of course.
Twitter, TikTok, like
all the apps. We're everywhere. We are everywhere.